Look, I'm Woody.
What does this have to do with Toy Story?
Can I borrow your shorts?
Why do you need my shorts?
I need your shorts to complete the aesthetic.
HR.
This guy.
So this is the actual mandrel. This is getting drawn on, spun on. I used to think, well, before I ever did anything like for real, I thought that bell tails were just 100% drawn, and you can do that with lead sometimes. They're not really drawn that well. I found that these German makers, whatever they're drawing with, even if it is lead, it could be probably. They spin the last 6 inches or so. And you can tell because there's spinning lines in their bells. No big deal. It's the truth. So, got that slapped down just so it's gonna fit pretty good. Here, take that. And we're gonna take our mandrel, get it on the lathe. Even though it's just a tail, we're still gonna pre-spin it.
Whose phone is that?
Snapchat.
Quiet on set.
Is it a girl? What?
You don't talk to girls.
I do. I talked to one girl.
Girls are icky.
Has it always been angled like that? I don't think that's always been angled like that. Isn't that weird? Has it always been angled like that? I know you're supposed to be able to move with this bolt. I've never been able to get it undone.
For some reason, my pipe wrench doesn't work on that chewed up hex head.
Someone really wanted it to stay there. And by someone, I mean Larry, who owned this machine.
Thanks a lot, Larry.
Thanks, Larry. He was actually a super nice guy, but I lost his phone number, which kind of...
Larry, if you're reading this, if you're reading this video,
I love you. That looks cool.
that smoke effect. That is not a special effect, folks. We are breathing that in.
That was good. Good one.
I just saw Adam's gloves. It's already been close to a match.
Trombone mouthpiece.
Is it on the pile of crap next to the lathe? Yeah, there it is. Look at that.
Like the dome it, you know? Like a dome?
I love that you use a dead blow on that.
Fancy. As you do.
As you do.
Sorry, Ian, I don't work at a multi-million-dollar peanut factory.
Planters. It's what's for dinner.
Okay.
We're going with him. We got it. We're good. Is this a junker? Yeah, I was going to say, add that to it. Adam's work pile.
Don't worry, I'll get it.
That's why there was all that shit on the floor. Smiles just haphazardly throws crap towards the
I don't
scrap
want
bin.
to think about this anymore.
Okay, so here's the deal. Here's why the scrap bin has gotten out of hand. Once it's full,
Because you haven't done with it?
once it's full, it's not worth that much money. Like that cart full is maybe worth like $50.
We can start a bidding war.
Yes, YouTube comments.
$50. Do I hear $50?
Starting at
$50. $50? $50. Do I hear $50?
I bet people would. No one who watches YouTube videos is local though. Other than, you know, Ian.
Yeah, that guy. So explain to the people what you're doing with us.
Oh, I'm just bolting the bell to the main drill.
He's made that mistake once before.
I'll be back. Don't be pulling the lathe.
What's that?
Paraffin wax. It's not as good as the soap, but it doesn't make you sneeze. So these are hoggers. I invented that word. So what we just did is called the pre-spin, okay? The point of the pre-spin is to get everything tight to the mandrel before we go to draw. Now this is where this is where some people actually stop and they will just use this as is, basically. They'll get a really tight pre-spin. They'll just use a hogged finish so it's not tight to the mandrel, but it's smooth. And then they'll bend it and all that stuff. But when you do that, every bell is like dramatically different, no matter how tight you get it in the step, because you can never get it perfect. So when you go to draw, what it does is sets a baseline so that all your bells from here to somewhere in here are the same. And if you spin your bells tight and you know how to do that, you can have your bells perfectly consistent. So we're gonna take this off and draw it. So we'll nose the end, anneal it, and draw it. I lost the wrench. See how tight my pre-spins are? It's not even coming off. There we go.
Hey, say that again.
What?
I wasn't filming.
So Adam took the liberty of soaping the never-living blank out of this. I'm trying not to swear. I got my washer. I drilled it really centered, which is good. Make sure you gotta drill really centered. Ian, you're bad at that. You gotta do better. And we're gonna draw this.
Put my jacket.
Come over here. Try to get it from this angle. Since it's clear, you can see through it. that sick?
Should we be wearing safety glasses?
I'm not sure. Oh, we have to measure it. How'd that feel?
Good, there's a couple little spots.
So,
Right there.
Might be a little fleck of dirt that was in the soap. Oh no, that's just. Oh, we're okay.
think that's just a
just
lot of
braise
braise,
that's sitting on there. So this inside's smooth.
soap guy, you're all right.
Soap guy, you did okay. I mean, you did passable. Let's just be honest. You were pretty shitty, but like you
Passable, which is damn fine for this shop.
didn't. You know what, Ian? I've heard some shit. People running around losing their way. So this is reeling, R-E-E-L-I-N-G. If you Google that,
Really?
if you Google reeling plus brass instruments plus trumpet, nothing to do with this comes up. Boom.
Oh.
Boom.
Pretty freaking good, boys.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Pretty freaking
That
good.
soap guy's got a future in this.
I would totally hire someone to just do all the soap.
Just do soap. This week brought to you by Stevie Nicks. And Tom Petty and Mark Lee.
Stevie's still kicking, right? She's still
Of
alive.
course she is.
I just
Stevie,
want to hang out with her. And then
please
marry
call
her.
Miles. His social security number is...
Everyone knows it already.
Believe it or not, that's the second time Miles has said his social security.
I know.
So I like to anneal the whole bell before I draw. As we saw from that one trumpet bell that was really freaking hard. This is at peak hardness all the way up until where we stopped. And then we will overlap that line a little bit just when we're spinning so that the bell as a whole will be as hard as possible. And that matters if you're gonna temper stuff, but this is gonna get bent. So we wanna have this hard up here so that when we anneal from here over and then we bend it, then it'll be back at hardness. And then you can temper it if you want, but I leave that up to the customer. Most of them don't do it. Yeah, he moved to that other Chinese importer. Don't put any context, just say he moved to that other Chinese importer, that'll be good. So I got the wood tool out because we are raised a little bit here, and the wood's not going to harden the brass as quickly, so we're just going to stick it down really quick with the wood. So that leaves us room to go back with my metal tool and get her down nice and good. So we're going to overlap where we drew, get some nice tight spinning lines. Now that is a frickin' bell right there, boys. Okay, and then we're gonna do a couple more steps. And then we are gonna skive off the end so it's a nice flush flush end so that when the person goes to put a ring on this, they have a good place to sit it down. So satisfying. You ready for this?
Good bell.
Freaking longest bolt ever. Ready? Ready? That's a good TikTok right there. That is a French horn bell tail. Now we gotta bend it. But I don't think these guys want to hang out for another 2 hours. It'd take like 2.5 hours to bend this
I
thing.
don't.
So we'll do it tomorrow morning. Oh, are you filming now, Adam?
Yeah, for 7 seconds now.
We filled it with pitch, because see how it's dimpled, because it's cooled down. So typically with pitch, it's getting warmer now. It's like 60 degrees out, 50 degrees, 60 degrees in here. A lot of people say it's temperature based. It's actually not true, it's time based. So in the winter, I will let a bell sit for 2 hours on the dot. And if it's super cold, and I keep it cold in here, it's like 50 in here in the winter, it'll be, hour 45 and I'll be bending it after I fill it with pitch. Since it's a little warmer, you typically want it to go a little longer. I forgot to time it, but it's been about 3 hours. We got it in here, want to line up the seam, make sure that we're bending the seam on the inside. We take my awesome bending lever. Oh, This is the wrong fixture.
Which fixture is it?
Oh yeah, it's the monstrosity. I made this fixture and it's kind of sketchy, but it's really nice. Moral of the story with stuff going around here. Oh, get a shot of Daisy.
Daisy.
Give me 1 second. So if I were to put the steel rod directly on the bell, it would dent the bell. Make sure you pull taut. Cool. So you pull taut again. It's flippin' perfect.
Beautiful.
So obviously our shape's not quite right, so then we take a stencil. Oh, this is for a Yamaha 667 for a customer. So you can see, it's pretty good. So we just gotta flex in I do a lot of different shaped bells. So I have rough fixtures basically. If you're doing one of the same bells all the time, like I have one for the Vienna horn that's just, it comes off the block and it's done. But for these Yamahas and stuff, you gotta be able to tweak it because the 567 is different than the 667. 567 is evil. It is terrible to bend. Really hard. The funny thing about bending stuff for Yamaha is you have to get it so that it's egg-shaped, like Yamaha's. Oh, hi Daisy.
Has to watch.
Cool. So that's just about there.
Oh yeah.
I like it.
Oh yeah.
And then you want to check for straightness, which we got a little bit of a... I like it. Cool.